10 seconds remaining.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Beyond the Summit America's Tournament Cup, powered by Squarespace. We also got Faceit, G2A, and Alpha Draft getting involved in the action. But we're in day 2 of the coverage here in our second series in our third game. I'm throwing a lot of numbers out there, but it is Boreal Esports going against the WaytoStack. They're also known apparently as Team Tinker and Navi US, and they tried to come in also named Summer's Rift. They don't have an identity, but hopefully, maybe they could make their own identity with just some solid play. We'll see if that's the case or not. I'm KotLGuy, going to be bringing you the point coverage, but got a special guest who's going to be continuing to join me here. I got Fluff from Root Gaming by my side. Thanks for hanging out with me and casting, by the way. I don't know if I got to give you the official thanks, but it's been a real treat. I appreciate all the insight you've been bringing.
Yeah, no problem. It's a pretty good, interesting set. We're already in game 3.
Yeah, it is. This is nice. Very back at one team, pretty dominant one game, then the other team the other. So it's kind of up in the air as far as where it's going to go here. This draft might be pretty damn important.
Oh, yeah. The Navi seems like they're sticking to, or, well, WaytoStack seems like they're sticking to their guns. They go with the Shadow Fiend opening. Quite a good hero. They actually banned out the Wyvern too, recognizing that even though it wasn't the best game for Boreal, that they're capable of picking it and also capable of playing it at a high level.
Yep.
So they're gonna ban that out. Co-op's pretty standard. Wisp, Leshrax, pretty.
10 seconds remaining.
They've been like that for the past 2 games, so no big difference. Big thing here is Boreal actually went for the Tusk in the first phase. They didn't do that in the other games. They kind of just let it go, but honestly I feel like it's one of Jeppin's best heroes, and playing with him in FPL he's always like, pick me Tusk, that's my hero. Like, but he's very good at it, so that's nice.
The important question though, Fluff, is are we going to see Jubei fuck with him a bit early on, mess with his offlane again for the third game straight? That's always seems to be a treat.
And from the Radiant.
Yeah, it's the Radiant again, so I doubt it. Maybe they'll actually be well prepared for him, but that'd be interesting. I just do want to say, though, there's still some top picks that were ignored. You got to remember that Bloodseeker that snicked his way into 5th pick. And Clockwork, also. Not acknowledged yet. Well, there's the Bloodseeker. They're going to get rid of him, but Clockwork's still out there and is still a good offlane choice, especially for maybe Way2's side.
And you never forget about the Huskar, too. Like, this Game 3 is probably one of the best games to just bust out a Huskar if you're confident in it. Because, like, that hero was one of the heroes where if you get it, 5th pick is just GG. But anyway, yeah, like this is the great thing about like sets in between teams, is that kind of a meta forms in between them. Like now Jeppin's like, this guy's gonna mess with my pull, and Jubei's like, I want to mess with this pull, but I think that he's gonna know that I'm gonna mess with this pull. So what will we do? And it'll be really interesting to note like how Navi US moves out in the early game to address this, and also how Boreal like is reacting to that type of aggression if that does come about. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
It's funny also, you know, and just going on the note of teams when they manage to form their own meta in tournaments, a lot of people say that, so it's definitely true. Is also just some heroes just don't get it really acknowledged. You know, aside from the 2, like Undying, I have not seen picked up in so long, where he was just all the rage. Undying Gyrocopter, the first 2, like what really happened to him? Just teams not really feeling comfortable with maybe committing to something a bit more aggressive that the Undying typically brings. I mean, you know, Undying Pugna was just something that teams like NIP and even EG and stuff just kind of bulldozed through teams with.
Yeah, for these 2 teams it seems a bit like preference, because I still feel like Undying's quite strong. Maybe they don't want to play with it, and they, you know, mutually they understand that no one's picking it, so why even bring it into the game? But like the Gyro, for him, he was kind of just like the flavor of the month. Like he started really strong with the patch. Like he was noticeable about the Rocket Barrage, but like there's a lot of heroes that can deal with him, and one of the heroes that can deal with him actually is in the game. Like Shadow Fiend can deal with the Gyro quite well, and there's like a lot of carries that can actually deal with the Gyro. And well, if Gyro falls behind, he has a really hard time catching up as well. So there's like a lot of things that take him out of pretty much the first phase and puts him more into like the second phase or situational type of pick, but he's still like altogether like a very balanced hero. He's good in the early game, the lanes, everything in the late game, but he's not quite the first pick that people made him out to be at the beginning of the patch. Lina, Boreal, I think they run this as support as well, and in the mid, but I think it's more likely support here. Lina's something that Shadow Fiends really like have to fear with the Aghanims, but there are ways to play around it. So and it's not even a core, so I wouldn't even bother. I think that it's just a comfort pick for them, like knowing Boreal through scrims and all that, and especially since Earthshake was taken out of the pool, that's one of their comfort support picks. I think Navi understood that as well, so they snatched it from Boreal. Like in the previous draft, there was like a Boreal took the Earthshaker over the Tuskar, because Earthshaker can do well versus Tuskar, and they Navi kind of shifted their priorities a bit so that they could deny
10
Boreal.
seconds remaining.
For Navi side, Nyx. Nyx is something
Radiant
people
team ban.
tend to like Nyx for Storm just because the mana burn multiplying over time with the, against the Storm's increasing intelligence pool. Personally, I'm always weary of Nyx just for the fact that like his
10
stun is very
seconds
hard to
remaining.
hit. It's a very high skill ability and there's a lot of ways to play around
5
it, but
seconds remaining.
mana burn's really good, and actually the hero people on my personal
Reserve
stream always
time.
ask me like, why didn't you see Nyx? But and I always tell them that I think Nyx can be good as well. Like
Navi
he just
US's
people
turn to ban.
would prefer like these stronger off lanes that are more secure. Like a Tusk, a Clock, a Spirit Breaker. These off laners are very guaranteed disable. They do their thing without, they can execute quite easily.
Radiant
but
team
for a Nyx,
pick.
you actually need to pick up the blink. Maybe even Ags. I love Ags. Ags is huge.
Yeah, it's
for
crazy.
zero.
Navi US's
Yeah.
turn to
That'd be
pick.
amazing. Oh, and a Sand King. So I guess they were kind of bracing for the Sand King pick with that Lina, because usually, like Lina's a very uncommon support, but like paired with the Sand King, there's a lot of aggressive potential, and they probably understand that, and it even would allow them to aggro if they wanted in a situation where Navi wants for something extremely greedy, but it's more likely that they go safe lane and just do the stack and pull
10
thing for the Sand
seconds
King.
remaining.
Sand King is really potent
Anti-mage.
for position support, and there you go. There's another carry that can deal with Gyrocopter and the Storm, and I'm surprised that it wasn't banned. Actually, if I had a bit more time to analyze the draft, like just usually when I watch these replays, I just pause a little bit, but it's going in real time. Anti-Mage destroys the Storm. Is very good versus
Oh yeah.
Lina. I mean, this Lina is going to be a 5 position most likely, so I mean, don't expect any Ags or anything like that to deal with the Anti-Mage, which is good, and the Anti-Mage will inevitably outcarry the Gyrocopter as well. So, like Navi US, I favor their lineup right now, especially with this 5th pick Anti-Mage. I feel like they have the better late game. Their mid game is very comparable to Boreal's. Boreal does have a very strong mid game, but yeah, like Navi US can do things to deal with that. They can play like a little bit more defensively, or they can like try to dodge fights, because obviously you don't want to be taking these engagements with an anti-mage. Like their 4 heroes can kind of just like hold the fort while AM goes in and gets his farm, and then if AM gets like very good farm in this game, like he'll take over, even if he gets shut down a little bit, as long as he gets his battle fury before like the 15-minute mark with treads, or like 14-13, he's gonna be on track to just take over the game. And I think that it's a pretty big oversight by Boreal not to ban the anti-mage. I'm not even sure what they banned on the 5th. Did you have a look at that, or?
I didn't. I was thinking about that as well. I know the last pick, or the last ban rather, for Navi was the Shadow Demon, so I was like, it's interesting. And it's not like they're going to be considering an Omni Knight again, but I actually didn't catch the last ban, unfortunately, for Boreal. I would assume they were
Well, it certainly wasn't
anticipating.
anti-mage.
Yeah, I could have made that deduction there, Fluff.
And I like, it's very scary playing against an anti-mage when you have like a Storm on your team, because like at any point, if you stand nearby him at the wrong moments, you're gonna die, especially as a support hero. I mean, Lina, Sand King, and Tusk to an extent will like really have issues, and Gyrocopter is very vulnerable to anti-mage, because anti-mage doesn't really give too much of a crap about like what Gyro can do to fight back against him, because he's just gonna blink on top, burn all his mana, and void it. It'll take no more than 3 seconds. And anti-mage naturally can build into like the Basher. He can deal with the Orchid and Storm with his Manta. Like every step of the way towards his progression towards the late game will be able to deal with the heroes that Boreal has on their cores, and that's a problem for them. But this game is gonna be really big on the Storm being able to make plays and get a little bit ahead, and also for the Sand King. I think the Sand King is probably the most important person on that team to make plays. Like he has to really utilize the epicenter to turn fights, or to gain some sort of advantage for them, so that they can shrink the map up a bit. Like, a blink and a blink Sand King and a storm can like pick off anti-mage, especially before he picks up any of the items that give him like any defensive capability. Because like you have Battle for, you have Vlad's. These items are pretty natural. I'm assuming he's gonna go for it. You don't really have like that much HP, and a lot of anti-mages, they compensate for that by building more stats and stuff like that. But it really wouldn't be enough versus those two, and they definitely have ways to kill him if they burst him. But it's an anti-mage. It's hard to pinpoint this hero. He can be everywhere at once, and he can push out lanes so quickly that you really have to be on top of your game, like how you predict him. Like some good ways to do it is like you see him walk towards the camp, and you can kind of predict like in 10 seconds if he farms this hard camp, he'll probably be over by like another a camp two lanes over, something like that. I don't really have a good example of that, but pretty much you have to predict like where he's going to be, and then also be in the right position before he blinks away, which is really tough, honestly. Not only that, but Navi US or WaytoStack, they can, if they gain any type of advantage whatsoever, these Roshans will be free, because like it's really hard to run into Witch Doctor, Shaker, Nyx, Azure Storm. And not only that, like if it couldn't even get worse, and it does. Sorry, I watched that. I can't speak very well, but anyway, like the Nyx is gonna destroy the Storm in the late game with the mana burns. He doesn't even have to impale him really, and it's like there's a good synergy there. You burn the mana, and then you mana void. It's gonna like two mana burns and 2 mana voids gonna deal with the Storm pretty well. And then well, the good thing for Boreal is maybe they can get some type of advantage with, like, they're gonna get a faster blinks on they're gonna get faster like ganking potential on their side, because Tusk just needs levels, Sand King needs blink, but he'll get it like very quickly. Storm just needs levels, Lina can assist, like she can follow up anything. But for Navi US, like I don't think Earthshaker's gonna get a blink very quickly. He's mostly gonna be defensive. Witch Doctor is just gonna farm Zags, and like Nyx, if Nyx doesn't have a great lane, he's gonna have to farm that blink somewhere, and it's gonna take some time, and he's very level dependent as well. So depending on how well Boreal can shut him down in the lane, it's gonna really stunt their growth. And pretty legitimately only the SF can build up a mech for Navi US. So perhaps if Boreal can get up a mech on Tuskar or something, like they can maybe they can protect from the damage that Navi US will be dealing. And it's like, I mean, Boreal has tons and tons of damage, whereas Navi US kind of, Witch Doctor, you have the Death Ward, Earthshaker's a bit limited till the Echo Slam comes in, and SF obviously has a skill shot, but the Requiem is quite potent. Nyx is not really known for being a great damage deal in the early game, so there's like a bit of a window for him. Both teams have windows, but I feel that Navi US's window is easier to like get to, and more reliable for the late game. But like Boreal did, like, they ran over them in game 1. They're confident in their Storm. Kikoni, the MVP of this team, seemingly to me, is he's capable of doing it. So we'll see.
I want to know, and we're gonna have to flip back a couple of pages there. I know you're obviously feeling like the WaytoStack lineup is the favorite with the draft that they've been able to throw together. They seem to have all bases covered and a good answer for whatever this Gyro or Storm Spirit are going to be able to bring forward. So when you're talking about Boreal and what they're going to need to get done, you put a lot of importance on the Sand King being able to step up. And you said once he's able to get the blink, but I feel like that's something that the Wayto group should also acknowledge. They know that once Sand King gets that blink dagger, he could be that potential comeback factor for their team if the laning phase goes well. So I would not be surprised if they just kind of go with an early game hustle, or make sure they kind of keep tabs and address the Sand King, so he just doesn't have an easy breezy time farming up that blink dagger, because they know it's very important to him. So I would be very surprised if Wayto just kind of let them do as they please with the Sand King. So he's probably going to have a bit of a headache on his hands when the laning phase breaks out. So maybe the attention they like to put on Jetbins the last 2 games, they're probably going to put that over instead onto Pizza Dad. So we'll have to see if that's the case or not. But if it ends up being like that, and they don't have a good start, and it seems to be a pretty late blink dagger for Boreal, is there anything else that they could kind of hope with? Because it's It's gonna be tricky. We know this is gonna be a very selfless Lena. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, she's not gonna be able to offer the same contribution that a Tusk and a Sand King are gonna be able to bring into the mid game pieces. So, and Gyrocopter might not be ready, or the Storm Spirits. So, it's crazy.
I mean, I guess I'll just put it in. I explained it like in a very convoluted way. I just the easy guide for dummies is that like Boreal has potential to snowball this game. They can do it. They have all the tools they need to do. Like they have all the tools that will allow them to make those plays happen, and it can very easily just go into their favor. Navi US kind of has to hold out. Given their track record, maybe in game 1, they weren't so good on the defensive play. They got snowballed, so it's very, very easy for them for that to happen. So it's just like a matter of which team will adjust the best towards like their timing. They both can win the game. It's not like some huge outdraft. It's not even outdraft. It's not even anything like that. It's not a huge favor for either team. It's just they have to do the things that they need to do to win the game.
Yeah, that's fair to say. So before we kind of overanalyze this, we have nothing left to say for the first 10 minutes of the game, and we'll take a moment. I'm chatting up with one of the big admins and clarifying what the actual pause limit is. I hate when we have to kind of come down to this and start looking at the clock and being like, I'm very sorry about your internet issues, but you know,
Yeah.
the show must go on. So I'm keeping an eye on that. And but while we do that, we can't take this moment. Let's go back and we'll check out the bracket here. Now this is only day 2 action here, Fluff. All right, we got what 16 teams. We saw Leviathan yesterday already pull on forward. You can see there at the top, beating out Union Gaming, and then earlier we saw Summer's Rift pretty much dominate over Isurus. So they move forward, and they're already waiting to play the winner of this series. So potentially they're Boreal or Way2. Now, your first match is going to be against eHug, and it looks like that match is not to come until July 9th. But how do you? I want to know, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, you guys amped up and ready since Red Bull, I believe, and you guys had a really good run at Red Bull. You got to remember, these guys came in the open qualifier, made their way through that.
That was Rift.
Was
you mean the one where we just like
the Red Bull one?
took
Yeah,
out
yeah.
every okay.
Yeah, you guys went through the open qualifier and then made it all the way to the finals to Summer's Rift and took that almost the full game stretch, but unfortunately came up a bit short. So since then, haven't seen a lot from Roots. So you guys feeling amped up and ready in your starting matchup against eHug?
Yeah, I mean we're TC's taking a little bit of a sabbatical, so we're gonna be using another player. We're getting used to each other, but he's pretty capable, and we're doing a little bit of role swaps as well, just because like we weren't really that comfortable, like because our roster had to swap because somebody got a job opportunity before TI. We had to swap up our roles a bit, so like Monkeys wasn't really used to the off lane. We had to just make do with it. So we're swapping roles around, but like we played a couple of scrims to get used to each other, and like they went really well. We feel really confident about it, and like everyone's really hungry to compete again, just because like it's been so long and it's really boring these days with no tournaments. And we're happy that BTS hosted it because it gives us an opportunity to play the game we love. And well, I think that we feel very confident about it. I feel like our team didn't do so well in the qualifiers, but I feel that we're a little bit of a dark horse. I think that I don't want to say too much about it, but I feel like the format of the qualifier was a little bit like a little fail. But I mean, okay, the game started.
Let's do it. I'm happy I got that opportunity to ask you that, though. I was very excited about seeing Root play, and a lot of these teams. I'm happy to see a lot of them still have their rosters together. I was a bit nervous that we're inviting these teams, but it's technically their post TI shuffle time, so who really knows what the hell we're going to be dealing with. This is probably the most obscure of teams that we're seeing right here and now. Wasn't really sure what to expect with Boreal, and then definitely the Way2 group, and it's been pretty damn spicy up to this point. So here we are in the final game of this Game 3 stretch, one apiece. Who's going to be coming out on top? And look at this. We were curious what they're going to do, maybe anticipating that Jube is going to be coming to this lane, so they bring everyone up here. And Jeppins is out in front, and he's going to get spanked, but they turn it right back onto AM. A Fissure does fly out, catches the 3, but they all snowball, chasing down the AM after blinking. He still needs 7 seconds, but it might not come.
He's clearing. He got it.
Nope, not happening. Yep, they get the burrow strike and the kill. I believe it's the 3rd game straight that Boreal are going to be claiming the first blood.
I mean, it almost looked like AM was going to get out of there, and then all of a sudden you just forget about the snowball. Chases him down. That was That's Craigasm. But I don't think that WaytoStack is gonna do anything about the side pull. Like Jubei, he's got the boots, but he doesn't have tangos, and Wayto doesn't even have boots, and he has tangos. So I don't see him rotating off.
Yeah,
And a little cheeky play here. He like blocks him off from the mid lane, so he has to walk around.
It's like I'm gonna show up a bit late. Luckily though, PQ is there blocking the way for him quite a bit, and actually will be a better block in the end here.
Yeah.
Going against Ritsu and the Shadow Fiend, so it's a good start
It's pretty
for them.
inconsequential.
Yeah, and it's in that perfect spot just at the bottom of the stairs. So he's going to have the early initiative there, and I don't imagine PQ's looking to adventure too far out. In fact, he's moving forward, and he's like, yeah! This Lena in her ridiculous attack range, she also lands the LSA, and he's going to have to step back. He only has that one shared tango, and now he's actually ferrying out what looks like a salve, so he's already going to have to double up a bit on the regen.
Yeah, that was a really good play from PQ because, like you said, now that SF only has one salve left to his name, so if KotLGuy plays up on this lane knowing that he has 2 tangos and a bottle coming in soon because he's rushing it, he's going to have a significant advantage on the SF, who will probably have to pull out more regen or get help before his bottle comes out. So this is like a great play by PQ blocking the lane. These are some plays that you can make as a support that really like makes a big difference in the game. But oh, look at this rotation from Earthshaker. He can get a block off here. Oh,
it's on the wrong side, and with that, it looks like KotLGuy's going to walk away right into his bottle, so he'll be happily able to bottle on up. He's going to burn right through it and then put it right back on little Jack Courier right here, send it right back to base. So prominent start. PQ still around. Obviously, both these teams put a lot on this mid lane, with both supports kind of hanging out as babysitters. They want to make sure that no one gets caught out too much. But let's touch base with this off-lane position a bit. We got Snaking playing your Nyx Assassin, going toe-to-toe with your Gyro. You know, you can obviously always easily pop out a Carapace when you see the Rocket Barrage coming your way. So he doesn't necessarily have to worry too much about the scary one-on-one matchup that Gyrocopter does bring.
And look at top. Jeppins, he had the Quelling Blade. He obviously planned to do it again, but it didn't work out because he had to get Snowball for the first blood. So now he doesn't have a Stout Shield again. And Wayto's just having a field day, just hitting him over and over again. The trades are just too easy for him. So again, it's backfiring for him to go for his build.
Yep. I mean, he has not even picking up a tango or anything right now. He's not chewing through one. He's going to be very low, and now it's... Uh-oh, Jubei's got a haste. Jeppin, start using heal or something! He's got to just gotten smacked in the back. Doesn't want to miss this fissure, so he's waiting.
Oh, my.
And, well, it looks like he tried to use his salve there, and then he gets sponked and taken care of. So unfortunate here for Jeppins in the early start. Previous to all that, we saw the back end. It was Storm Spirit getting caught out in the mid lane with a nice little fissure setup. So even though KotLGuy had a good laning presence at the start with the help of the Lena, he's actually going to be the one that hands over a death. So one back the other way, and the game's even at 1-1.
Yeah, it's sad. The ward that the Dire has on that hill actually saw the Tusk, so that he had the confidence to run up with the haste rune. And if they didn't have that ward, then Jeppins probably would be up a salve, and it's kind of sad for him that he has to play this way now. Because Tusk is a pretty like high pressure off lane, especially, you know, and if he had a Stout up there and he got a couple of levels, he could put a lot of pressure on the lane. But now he's forced to soak up a little bit of EXP for his 2 on mid and just like play this role where he can't even go top, and he's just like trying to stint the aggression. But I mean, there is no aggression. Navi US from the last game, they already pretty much said like, hey, we're going for this strategy where we're just going to protect Ralph, because they were just camping him all game 1. So now they have this defensive Earthshaker, and I mean, there's nothing really for him to do here besides check runes and maybe stack or whatever.
Yeah, he's in a very just awkward spot. It's like, I can't go to lane, there's nothing for me to do. And you know, I was going to mention this, I believe it was in the last draft, where you were kind of going into a bit about the offlaners and like kind of what's the old and what's the new. Gone with the days of the Bat Rider, Tide Hunter, and now in with the, you know, Clock and Tusk and Spirit Breaker, which I certainly agree. These are high impact heroes that don't really need a lot of items. They just get those levels, and next thing you know, they're ready to play. But the unfortunate downside is that they don't have jungling capabilities. They can't just fall back from the offlane and be like, well, it's okay, I'll make it up in the jungle. It obviously would have been a lot trickier this game because they have a Sand King who is already, you know, taking a lot of the jungle farm. But, you know, just one of those downsides. If you find a way to muscle out these bruisers, these offlane bruisers, they're kind of stuck in a rut and don't really have a home to go to.
My spirit echoes.
The thing about that is that, well, you kind of want to stay in the lane as long as you can these days with the offlaner, just because of the way that the off lanes have been patched in the meta. Like before, it was you literally couldn't do anything, so jungling was the best option. But now, like it's very easy for you to acquire levels, and these type of heroes can stay in lane. Bottom lane gets Fissure into Impale, and you need to kill on Gyro. Nice rotation.
Good quick catch. And Jubei continues to kind of be all over the place and sets up a beautiful fissure from the dark and makes it easy for Snake King to kind of clean up the rest. So you're off lane Snake King, almost the polar opposite to how it seems to be going for Boreal's side. He's at level 5 to 6 now, gets a kill. He's got freaking arcane boots.
Oh my god, he's so big right now.
He's a big boy.
And, like, it's so bad for Boreal that they have to deal with this now.
Look at the other side, Jeppins is level 2 trying to get to 3, and they're even bringing in PQ and everyone. KVH is like, I don't know about this. I don't like this. We can't really effectively keep this Nyx away and out from trouble. And now he's soon going to get level 6, and then he'll have Vendetta. And I'm sure at this early point in the game, he'll look to put it to use right away. I mean, this Jeppins Tusk, this little Lina are just an easy snack for the Nyx at that point. So this is turning into a bit of an awkward, audible play coming out from Boreal, having to change these lineups.
And Sand King is completely uncontested. We talked about him being so important to the lineup. They're not really. They have this ward here, and they did block a couple of spawns on the Radiant middle, the card camp, but you know, Sand King's well on his way to the blink. He'll have it soon. He has his levels. That's all he needs.
So we'll see if the importance that we weigh on him in this game is justified or not. And he is, getting very damn close to that blink dagger. We'll see if he'll be able to get it. And you have Snake King on the other side, almost level 6, really, really close. But he's going to head and get a free bounty rune, it looks like, the 6-minute mark. Jeppin's back to the off lane. He doesn't like it, but he's got to be here. He does manage to get together level 3, near level 4. But your king of net worth is your AM at the top right now. 48 and 20 for CS. The next closest, their very own Shadow Fiend at 36, now 37 as he works through a big stack. Finally, the next closest is Boreal's Storm Spirit. KotLGuy here in the mid lane is at 35 and 4. Does manage to get to his level 6, almost level 7, but looks like he's going to be building up into a Bloodstone. The trend we've been seeing a lot today.
Yeah, you kind of want to have the extra HP and just play off the fact that your Overload does so much damage when you max it out early. Orchid is a play, but it's much more like high risk, just because you kind of have to get kills off of it, whereas the Bloodstone allows you to just farm consistently and like get into the Orchid later. And it's honestly, I think I prefer that. Monkeys is a pretty big Storm proponent, and he also always argues for the Bloodstone first, so I kind of tend to trust his opinion. But I think that with this Gyro being pressured so hard, this is a major issue for Boreal. And I don't necessarily think that it was difficult for them to zone out the Nyx in the first place, so I'm not sure how he got so much space. But he's really doing a lot, and he'll do a lot more in the future.
Yeah, they put a lot in having PQ the Lina hang around that mid lane for the first big portion of the game, while Pizza Dad was kind of working with his own stacks in the jungle, so it really left Gyro almost on his own. But here we go, Snake King caught with a burrow. Call down is coming. He's got the Carapace pop, so it's going to stun them all. And he just simply vendettas and walks away. They don't have the detection, and that's a lot of a commitment coming out from Boreal, and they don't get anything from it. Meanwhile, mid lane, we see the back end of that. KotLGuy overdives through the tower, gets his own pick on the Earthshaker. Might lose his own life, though, if he can't make it out. Got a little bit of mana here. No Soul Ring yet. Oh, that's all he's got. Coconut going to catch him in the back of the head, and they're going to try to right-click him down. But, oh, my bounty rune first. Pops the bottle. Can he get it to the high ground with it? Can he get it? Can he? Oh, bottle, Soul Ring up. He's up and away. Kiko has made it out. Man. Whoa. That was close. Thank God for that. That freaking rune. That was crazy.
Top tower goes down in the meanwhile. SF rotated up while all that was happening. They get it for free.
Uh-oh, bottom lane. What's happening here? Snake King again. Almost caught out too far. This time he will not have Vendetta to make it away. Look who's coming in. Special delivery. It's a pizza from the dad, and he moves in with a burrow, and they're going to get the kill. The Rocket Barrage folk. I don't know. I think it's one of the best names in Dota. Pizza Dad. Like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know. And
a little backstory about these players on Boreal. They're all very like high MMR and very not accomplished maybe, but like very noticeable figures in the NA community in Han.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them were like high tier players, pretty much in that scene, and like you know, it's kind of a trend where like the Han players are moving over to Dota 2 and they're making a name for themselves. And actually, Angry Tessie used to be on this team, and he was one of the biggest figures in the Han.
That guy, yeah, he loved to stream. He loved to teach. They offered lots of lessons. Man, he was all about the Twitch for a while there, and he would just be happy to take anyone like himself +4 and just carry him away into victory in the back of his mid lane play. I had the opportunity to go in against him many a time in pubs of Han, so I know that all too well. But I was kind of sad not to see him on the roster list here, but regardless, they still have, like you said, a lot of very talented players just looking for that home, that team that could take them to the next level, it looks like. And Boreal hoping that with this roster here, but with the draft in game number 3, it's feeling damn good for the WaytoStack. I mean, yeah, they get a couple of picks here and there, but you got to remember this AM continues to farm up. He's already got his Perseverance complete. He's well on the way of getting a pretty damn good time Battle Fury if he wants it. And he'll just continue to farm.
Pretty much unmitigated farm on both cores. Actually, all 3 cores, really. The only thing they have going for them right now is that Storm didn't really die in those situations where he should have, and Sand King has Blink. But other than that, they're really suffering right now in this early game.
So we'll have to see. It's getting closer, and yeah, smoked Blink Dagger Pizza Dad. Scouts and waits for someone to make a jump on the Jeppins, but that's not coming anytime soon. AM's there, but he's working with the nearby stacks. He knows there's a lot missing on the map. Well, now he might see, or not. Oh, they're smoked up. It's going to pop there. No, he's right there. Oh, he already blinks away. How did he know? Does he have a ward there?
How did he know? Was it because... I guess he was just suspecting it. I'm not sure how he got the vision on that. Unless he just had an uncanny ability to sense that. I mean, Ritsu is a pretty good player, honestly. So I'm sure he could have figured that out in the mid lane. Yeah, was it a trade? Like Storm jumps on SF and then the Nyx backs him up. They trade lives and pretty much Nyx things up.
Storm is very good at jumping in at a pretty damn inconvenient time for me, but hey, he makes it work. It looks like it sacks his own life to get the Shadow Fiend down. Shadow Fiend build-up, I don't know if it's acknowledged yet, but we might have to hold that thought. They're going to move in. PQ, yeah, simultaneous action breaking across the board. It's Snaking moving in on this mid laning, getting PQ, and at that same moment, bottom lane, they engage, and it looks like they take down Jubei on his Earthshaker.
At least that's something for them. But the trade, honestly, of Storm for SF with the Nyx like picking up the remnants of that engagement is like very big for Navi US. You can already see Snake King is very close to Blink. He's at 1700 gold, almost 1800 gold here.
Yeah, they're just still in such a fine spot. It's early for a 3k net worth advantage, but they got it. And Jeppins now steps away from his off lane. He's at his level 6. He's got his arcanes, and he actually has some decent farm here. 1300 gold. He's obviously trying to put together a Blink Dagger for himself. But we'll see. It's going to take him a bit before he can get it and go on the move. How's our Storm doing here? He's got a regen rune. He's got a point booster. He's definitely getting in the action quick at 2-2-1. He's involved in nearly every kill that they've had so far. Gets right back in the mid lane. But just steady as she goes right now, Fluff. Oh, I say that, but here comes the smoke. Bottom lane. Way2 and Snake King.
Yeah.
Are they going to get anything with it, though? They have a Death Ward now. You got to remember, the fun new thing is that he can Carapace while in Vendetta without breaking it. If he walks across like a Remnant, let's say, and pops Carapace, gets a free early stun lead-in. I was thinking about that a bit.
That's really hard to remember, because it's never been that way, but like, it's so good.
It is really good. You get a free burst of damage before even having to commit the strike from Vendetta. I mean, well, he's not going to get that opportunity here. And that's the only situation I can... Oh, no, it's really good against the Sand King as well. You just walk into Sandstorm in Vendetta, pop your Carapace, he comes out, and then you see him, and he's like, what the hell was that? Why did I stop? And then you pop him with a Vendetta, stun, mana burn. Not much of a chance that Sand King's going to survive, so I wonder if that had any sort of influence with the pick. Oh,
definitely a great change. And I have a funny story about the Nyx, like his Impale. IceFrog used to ask me a little bit about beta testing and like some new ideas for the patches, and I asked him if he could add like a click to Sand King's burrow where you can like click on the hero so it'll just burrow like in Dota 1. So what he does instead is he looks at Nyx and he removes the point click. So I'm pretty sure I nerfed Nyx by saying that, and like I'm kind of sad about that because Nyx is like really fun to play.
Yeah, people are just so used to how it used to be targeting, and they do it from like what feels like max range. And what a lot of people are saying is a more secured way of making sure you land that stun is be close, be nice and close. But here we go, mid lane. And Rune, Yule's Requiem, Fissure separates the two. It's not enough of a burst, and Storm Spirit just flies away like, nice try.
That was a really nice attempt there, because like if the SF got the Requiem like right on top of the Storm, he probably would have killed him, following up with that Fissure. Like that was a nice attempt. I mean, it's a high risk, but it's really high reward as well. So. I mean, they're not really using their abilities anyway. And the thing that worries me the most about this game is that Boreal kind of has to go find the AM and go find the SF and take them out, but like it's very risky for them to just walk into the fog. Like they don't know what's going on, and at the same time, if you're missing, like Navi US should have enough map awareness.
They see Jeppins with that ward. Vendetta. There's the stun. There's the death ward. See you later, Jeppins. Nothing you can do about that. Just a good ward and a good catch for Way2 and Snake King. And oh, now PQ comes out from the woodwork, who's hiding behind that tower and is like, I'm in trouble. But here comes help. Kikoni shows up, hops in, and a coconut locks him in place. He can't do anything about it. They're going to lose PQ, but KVH comes in, and they're able to clean up the Snake King. Now Way2, he's gone. Makes a TP out. Ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Still in favor of the WaytoStack. They make a lot of commitment here. They have all the heroes come to this bottom lane. AM is like, a galaxy's been created for me. All this space I could ask for. He's just going to keep farming top lane.
Nice. I love whenever you say those things. It's so funny. Super creative. But
Thanks.
But like, I mean, they commit 2 heroes for that. One of them gets out, and like they get so much space created for AM. It just kind of shows how ahead they are in this game.
Right, he's going to get punched in the chin, but he's like, is that all you got? Waits, Snowball's there. Jubei's waiting, doesn't have the Fissure anymore, obviously. Using it previously.
He actually could have blinked back, maybe, and baited the Snowball out, depending on how the timing. I'm not sure if it would have worked, but they probably would have killed Tusk if that happened. But at the same time, Tusk can release Snowball.
They see Kikoni right here.
Oh man, he doesn't even have
That's
mana.
where you do it. That's where you do the Carapace pop. Oh, come on, Snake King. Do me proud.
There's no way that he knows. I swear that.
I know.
It's so hard.
Nobody ever gets to play it ever. They just right there, go. Oh, come on.
Oh my god.
Just quick pop Carapace, go. He's waiting. Vendetta's getting near the end. Well, I don't know. He's like, I need a +1. Way2's there. Oh, mana's gone now. Get in there. Blink, stun. He's like, I forget it. I'm not going to Vendetta. I'm just going to go get the secured stun. Nice KS. Oh, no, it wasn't there. Way2 ends up getting the last hit. Ritsu tried to show up and secure the extra bounty for himself, but doesn't happen. But regardless, it's a successful pick on one of the top priority targets there for Boreal. Kikoni Storm Spirit.
That's incredibly risky. If you think about what he was doing there, he had no mana farming the hard camp, and he moves over to the easy, and then he's even going to go into the lane knowing that Nyx is off map and that he's been there the entire time. Like, I probably would have just backed off after I farmed the camp there.
Yeah.
Went back to base or something.
The way they had caught out the Tusk previous, I would thought they'd had the notion that there might be a ward in their woods, but they haven't really dropped a sentry or anything to kind of make sure everything is safe. So easy stalking right there for Snake King. He's continuing to do that. Bit of a roll here. Sees Pizza Dad waiting behind, so they have the intel to know that the Sand King's hoping for a blink-in opportunity, but it's not going to be there. It looks like they'll just change course. Jubei heads back in the mid lane. Still, every time I go to top, it's just this AM doing whatever the hell he wants, just playing that PvE game right now. He's got a Battle Fury. His Yasha, I believe, is done and flying out right now. It is. Boreal will eventually have to do something because this AM is just going to be a problem. And as I say that, they're smoked up mid lane, Fluff, so they're going to move in. They get the burrow, and they get the catch, and they get the kill. It's just Jubei and his Earthshaker, but it's something. They need something.
4-man commitment for that. And has Sand King really connected with any like big impact kills here with this blink? I haven't really seen too many plays being made.
No real big epi showdown yet. Just maybe that mid lane jump has probably been the most we've seen from his blink dagger so far. But we'll have to see. They managed to clean out a tier 1 on the back of that Jubei pickoff. And it looks like they're going to change course, head to bottom, where Way2 had been pushing in. Way2 is 1K away from having an Agnes on his Witch Doctor. So he's freaking Scrooge McDuckin all over this game right now. I don't know. He's what are they going to do about this Agnes? At that point, it's like there's going to be so much coming their way. Is Jubei anywhere near? No, okay, he's not going to have a blink anytime soon. But while they're dealing with it, yeah, I mean he's the 5. He's like the 6 at this point. But you know, they're going to have a Death Ward in their face to deal with, but they're going to have a Fissure that could separate them from it. An AM is going to be there. They have to address that. And Shadow, it just sounds like it's going to be too much. Well, top lane, Pizza Dad, he's done for. Oh, man.
The KS.
Emphatic KS coming out from the anti-mage.
Why the hell not?
He's like, I haven't done anything all game. I want to do something. Just jumps in and gets the pop right there. So it doesn't feel like a game where it's only 8-7, but you look at the net worth, and it's a bit more of a accurate picture to be painted. 5K net worth lead for Way2 in their stack.
Yeah. And like this AM build is a bit interesting as well, because usually people go for the Vlads right after the Battle Fury, but he kind of just picks up the Ring of Regen. He's like, yeah, this Ring of Regen plus the Ring of Health is going to sustain me. I'm just going to get into my items a bit quicker. So now you're going to see like a faster timing on the Manta, which is like really big pickup for him. It's going to like allow him to transition way quicker into this game. And I like this. I like that he made this decision, because like a lot of people be like, hey, I'm playing anti-mage. I follow the same strict build every game, but Ritsu recognizes that he can go for this kind of build, and he's gonna get away with it as well.
Yeah. And with that Manta pickup, that means that, you know, Kikoni, does he even consider going something like an Orchid if it's just going to be easily taken care of? I'm curious to see what he wants to go for after the Bloodstone. Still trying to get some extra charges, but yeah, you think he still goes for it?
Yeah, attack speeds are extremely important on Storm, and also having the mana regen. Like those two things are like his most important like stats or like item pickups. So Orchid kind of fits the bill. And you talked about how they're going to deal with the Ags and the Witch Doctor. It's probably going to have to be an Orchid with the Storm, because you're not going to see like Sand King's probably going to blink and initiate, and then his stun's gone, and then Gyro has a missile. It's not going to do much, and then Lena's not going to be anywhere in your position to get that. And then the same thing with Tusk. It's going to have to be the Orchid on the Storm to deal with that.
Okay, here comes KVH to a bottom lane, which he's like, precious free farm, but there is trouble nearby. Snake King waiting in the woods, and Way2 slowly creeps his way forward. Just Gyro goes a bit too far from home. He is potentially in for a rude awakening here. We'll have to see. The rest of the group, they're battling out with Roche. But we'll see. Does Snake King consider a jump on the Gyro? I think him and Way2 would have enough. Okay, Snake King is on the prowl. Here he goes. The King. His Majesty. KVH, are you going to take a knee? Let's see. He's waiting.
Oh no, he breaks the smoke.
You know, and they kind of see him with the Sentry Ward, so they converge onto Snake King, and they're going to get the... Oh, wow. That's a lot of hate. Uppercut. Takes out the Dung Beetle, and with that, evens the game up 8-8. But, yeah, it cost them... I mean, Snake King's just like, no problem. Space. Space, right? For the Roche, as they're going to be able to complete that. Who grabs it? It's going to be the Shadow Fiend, of course. So now Mr. Ritsu has the extra life to work with, and he almost has his BKB. So we don't get to talk much about the Shadow Fiend, but he's also just having a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, 4-man smoke top, and they put the ward down.
Oh man! Billy the Kid, that reaction time. He gets the hell out of there, but they still catch up with him. Kikoni moves in, they get the pullback. Vortex, uppercut, so much hate. Oh, almost blinked away from the Laguna, but his dead corpse will fly down. That was a lot.
Catch range.
Jesus. He almost made it out. That's crazy.
I can't believe they actually caught up to him like that. That's really crazy. And there you go. That's like, people ask me a lot of times on stream, like, why is Tusk so popular? It's because this snowball change actually makes him incredibly viable. Like, he didn't have to bring anyone with him, and he caught up to the blinking anti-mage. Like, also that played a part in the first blood as well. Like, snowball used to be pretty fail spill before we had to group everyone up, but now it's just self-sufficient and so good.
Come on
but
board.
I want to
Let's
talk about Nyx. I want to talk about Nyx because a lot of people, like, Nyx recognize that he needs to go mana burn to like get the max value at the 4-second CD versus the int carry, the Storm. But he doesn't leave his carapace at level 1, and a lot of people do that. But the thing is that if you have level 1 carapace, it's only 0.6 stun. Going into level 2, he has a 1.2. At least it's something. But he does recognize he needs to go to mana burn. So I really like his item, his skill choice, and I also like his item choice because he can go for the Ags as well.
I love seeing the Ags. I have personally not been able to witness enough of it. I know its true potential. It's got great high ground defense. If you put it together with something like a Force Staff, which I don't even know that's out of the picture yet, but you have a huge gap closing capability with that new increased stun range. And
for sure, and you can force him burrowed in the ground, so that like if you're his teammate, you can force him forward. He can get a new position.
Oh yeah,
it's really nice.
Okay, here he goes. They have sentries. They don't have the vision to see him though. They ping it out, so it looks like they do have the idea. Based on their map view that we're looking at right now, their woods are in the dark. Way2's like, obviously they got something, so they get a bit of a sentry D ward, and they head towards mid lane, where the WaytoStack were able to finish out the tier 1 tower mid. So just ridding of another access point, and they're just going to look to start taking objectives, Fluff, because they have the Aegis on hand, and they figure why not? This is the time.
Nope. Oh, actually, the anti-mage goes back for the Vlads. I'm kind of... I guess he did that for the Roche, right? Like, he had the Vlads for the Roche. That's probably the main reason why he went back for it. They just saw the opportunity to go for it, and he like adjust. And that's like another thing that needs to commend about Ritsu. Like, he goes back into the Vlads when he was originally skipping it for the timing that, or for the window of opportunity that he has. So it's like, it's very honest feet thinking, and that's really good by him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And it goes
attack.
back to more of that cookie cutter build up for your AM, but if it gets the job done, no faulting on that, certainly not. But they pull back, they are able to secure not just that mid lane tier 1, they get that bottom tier 1 as well, so their net worth continues to stay pretty heavy in favor. But to be honest, as I checked the graph, I was actually expecting it to be a bit more in favor of the WaytoStack, and I guess that gives a bit of props to Boreal. They've been able to kind of hold up with the farming period, even though you consider the towers that the WaytoStack have brought down, plus the Roche. Boreal have not allowed them to, be too far ahead as far as net worth goes. So they've been finding some sort of farm. But I'm looking over everyone. I'm not really seeing it. KVH, he does have a BKB. It's fresh, 9 seconds still. Storm, he does manage to throw together his Orchid, has 1 extra charge on his Bloodstone. I mean, we figure PQ's not going to have much, and that's the case. But hey, Jeppins has a mech in addition to his Blink and Arcane. So they're kind of trying to hold in there. Oh, good Blink Black, but they're going to get caught. And nope, no Spirit Bomb yet. The quick snowball, possibly baited out. Rolls into Snake King, and he's going to walk away. Or will he?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I thought that Earthshaker could do something there. Echo,
Dire's
Jan.
structures are
Yeah.
fortified.
Did he have care? Like, what happens if the snowball hits you and you care?
It doesn't do anything.
Oh, it
You can
doesn't.
snowball over like Techie's mine. So.
What a spell. Okay, well, they're jumping on Snake King bottom lane. They got the Orchid silence. They're trying to pull him back. Can they get the burst they can? Pizza Dad moves in. The stun. Now in Sandstorm, but they get the return stun with the Fissure. Death Ward, and they finish him off. Oh, jump in from Ritsu, trying to get a hold of Kokoni. Kokoni able to leap to the south and will TP back to safety. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Your core offlane Nyx in exchange for the Sand King. So if you look at the trade of XP and gold, it's a slight nod towards the side of Boreal.
Yeah, and KVH is pretty close to his MKD, but like I said, Anti-Mage is one of those cores that can just really outpace him and deal with him very easily. So it's going to be not really that impactful that he has it, in a way that it's going to stop Anti-Mage from just rushing the Butterfly. But I mean, there's plenty of other options for him. Basher, Heart. He's probably not going to go PKD, but that is an option to go for.
Frickin' Trouf, man. Just looking back at the CS, 308 already for 27 minutes in is not too shabby at all. Yeah.
Was that? I was thinking that's Ritsu the whole time. That was Trout. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
saying to him, like, no, Ritsu, that's Trout under an alias. Ritsu's under an alias of someone else's name.
I mean, who the hell are they anyway? If they want me to commend them, they better use their real name. Otherwise, I'm just gonna.
Trust me, Fluff. I have been preaching that for so long. No one wants to listen. Guys, please, one of the basketball players before they hop on the court, like, today I'm going to be known as Weeboo99. Boom. Here we go.
Weeboo99.
I'm the point guard, I mean, it's almost at the point where it's like, I'm just going to call out the name I see. And this is what it is. But, regardless of what their name is, they're looking pretty strong, and they might be able to come out of this first series. It's hard to say who's coming into this series as a favorite because no one really had a lot of intel about either team, but the WaytoStack showing their stuff, and you got to remember, game number 1 was pretty strong for Boreal, but they managed to bounce back in game 2, and on the verge of pulling off a pretty good game number 3, unless Boreal managed to have a good response.
Honestly, I think what happened here is, like, in game 1, they kind of classified their opponent. They're very aggressive. They're gonna just run at us. Let's play a little bit more defensive here, because in that game we spread ourselves too thin with the draft, and like Navi US pretty much adapted to Boreal, like understanding why they lost that first game, and that's really good on them. But Boreal not really adapting. They're kind of just playing their own game, and It seems like they got a little figured out here by not.
Spotted snaking under a sentry with an obs on the high ground. Immediate jumping from Jeppins, connects with the uppercut, and now he's the one in trouble. Oh, here comes Pizza Dad with another delivery. This time it comes with a big epi, but it ends up being the 1-for-1 trade, and a Spirit Bomb going to get dropped from Ritsu. Makes it a 2-for-1 trade, clearing out the Storm there at the end. A big push right now could be coming potentially for the Navi US / WaytoStack group as they charge down this mid lane.
Well played on the Requiem. He actually got the Storm right before he could jump.
Do you think when you're playing... Okay, hold on. They're making it go. PQ's in trouble. It actually forces out the BKB from KVH. He tries to rocket barrage. It will keep them back. Oh, they might have got Juby. A little stowaway here. They're going to move in, and he's done. So we get a nice little pick off on the way out, a straggler. Oh, he's going all the way for AM here. Oh.
You don't think that.
No. What I was going to say is, you know, from a player's perspective, you're playing something like a Shadow Fiend, and you're trying to get the precise timing of Yules and Requiem. I imagine nerves are probably a little bit at play, right? Or is it something that if you do it enough, that shouldn't matter? You know, I would just imagine it's not like this is a Grand Champion TI kind of a game, but still, it's a single elimination. You know, you drop this game, you're out of the tournament, so pretty damn important, and can't really fault them if they do get the timing off just a bit.
It definitely just depends on the type of player. Like, if they're so cocky that they're gonna go for a play like that, like it's very much like a high risk play. I mean, if they whiff it, it's completely useless. But I think we've seen like examples of Ritsu going for plays like that. Like in the bottom rune, the fissure over top the Yules, like trying to one-shot the Storm. That's something that he did do. So we already know, like, as a player, he wants to go for these plays. He doesn't really mind. So I don't think on that level it's going to affect him. But I think maybe somebody's a bit more conservative in their play. They'll have nerves, and they might mess it up.
Tower is under attack.
But it does do him justice there with a good pick onto Storm. Knocks him down a couple of charges. Still holding 9 for now. And though Boreal have the kill advantage, the farm advantage still in favor of the Way2 group. But still, I mean, that farm advantage continues to just inch its way back towards the even playing field. Now they're looking to change that up as they just watch the clock and wait out for this Roche. Still got about another 30 seconds before it's up.
Yeah. And Snake King's going for Octarine core. He actually just shifted gears here.
Whoa.
Holding that point booster all the time. That's a shame, but I mean, lowering cooldowns on all his abilities is really good as well, so still a good choice. Nice reactions.
Yeah, good blink. Puts him in a stuck position, but not like any pressure is going to be coming that he'll need to get out from that spot. I say that, but Kikoni is like, what's over here? I'm just going to... What? Well, he hops up and above to the high ground. Snake conveniently jumps out at that same second. So, but you can tell, the tension is there. Both these teams know Roche is about to be up any moment, and they want a piece of that sweet pie. But it looks like Way2 know that they're going to go on the prowl here with a good smoke. And they might catch out Jeppins and Pizza Dad. And PQ! Oh, poor little thing. She's done for. She goes down, and the rest have to get the hell back. And with that one pick, that might be more than enough for them to just segue into this Roche and take it. It looks like it is.
That support light, he's like, guys, this is so important. These wards see the entire fight that's going to change the game if we can do something about it. And then this whole team's like going off to other lanes and farming and not protecting him. But at the same time, it kind of like reveals his position for the smoking, so it's kind of good that they weren't supporting him there. But yeah, he's doing the selfless work. He's doing God's work.
Yeah. The work that just does not get recognized by many a players, especially pubs. Oh, Kiko man, you are Grand Theft Auto. Remember, he jumps in, he's like, God damn it, I gotta go. Pops his BKB, hops the hell out of there, hoping for the dream. Turns into a bit of a nightmare as they do secure the agency. Look at this, Trout is on the prowl. He gets quickly silenced up with the Orchid. Will eat the call down, or was it call down or a pillow drop? I don't really know. He doesn't really feel it, but he's just like, screw this rocket. He's like, oh, I gotta get back. Or not. He jumps up and above. Just, wow, just smack that rocket out of here.
Is he gonna go for it?
He is!
Oh my god!
You kidding me? Trout, he played them like a fiddle right there, not gonna lie. Just kind of stalked them little by little. Screw this rocket, screw this call down. Catches up and just pops Storm like a balloon, and the mess just gets all over Jeppins as well. That was terrible. Now he's just confident as ever with his Aegis, just Ballsy right into the base. Requiem. Oh, this one not going to catch. Not as effective as there's going to be a quick retreat from Pizza Daddy. Pops his own Ghost Scepter. Eats the mana burn damage. Shroud waiting for him to walk back into base, but he's just creating space for Ritsu to do the siege work here as he muscles down this tier 3. It's going to get dropped. Way2, the paramedic. Going to be healing everyone up with that due to restoration. Here comes Pizza Dad charging in. Sandstorm going to get stunned thereafter. Now Kiko Man dives in from the fountain, trying to do a big burst with the ball. Now gets stunned from the Carapace. Pops his BKB thereafter, gets the pullback onto Ritsu. The kill is going to be there. Death Requiem not going to be doing a whole lot. Trout going to be next to fall. Does have the Aegis, of course. Jubei nearby, still not enough mana for Fissure. Soul Ring in one. We'll have to pop it now. Death Ward, though. Big Death Ward. Huge Death Ward. My God, what a Death Ward. Going to be flying out here, and they get the pop again on the Storm Spirit. Mega kill coming out for Trout. And now they want Jeppins. Man, they are just cleaning up the mess. Now call down, we'll zone him back, but he hopped right over it and tries to go for Gyro. KVH saved briefly from Jeppins, but Trout probably going to make the blink. No. Oh, who's going to go for it? Now he changes course, goes down. Oh, into a tree, and a snowball's going to be there. God damn it. Is he still going to go for it? He certainly is. Trout, he's a man. He's going to move on forward here. Uh-oh. He goes in. Pizza Dad, going to catch him with the stun. And KVH is like, I don't really have anything else. Oh, God, please, no, no. Oh, what a grief. Heal and a snowball. God. They're making him work for it here. They get uppercut, and Pizza Dad gets him with the stun. Trout, no! Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Big team play before the holy shit.
And if I had my fail sound bit ready, that was justified. He worked so hard for all of that and just didn't get it. Oh my God. That's NA Dota right there. I don't even know what else to say. That was just ridiculous. A bit too ballsy, but he just felt like he was in full control of the situation, so oh, not the case. But still, overall in the end, you get a tier 3 mid lane, no real other structural damage. They lose their Aegis. They of course take a couple of good kills. They take Storm twice. Bloodstone going to be knocked down, and then now it's back to 7 at least. But whew. I mean, it's still feeling like a pretty commanding WaytoStack kind of a game. Do you think Boreal, though? There's still hope there for him? Maybe?
No, I mentioned earlier in the draft that if it gets to their timing, that's just over. And this is their timing. Like, you see the anti-mage, right? He's just, like, destroying the Storm. And they can't touch him. I mean, he's just playing with them. And, like, yeah, they killed him, but, like, he doesn't have to die that way if he doesn't want to, and they really can't do anything about him if he just jumps in the middle of their team.
Yeah. You can tell just, like the body language that Storm has been issuing now, it's not as flamboyant as it once was. It's feeling a bit more passive, a bit more reserved. He knows that when he makes these kind of jumps in, he's quickly welcomed with a stun thereafter, whether it's the Carapace catch or a Fissure. It's not too easy, and, you know, you can see it just, build into a BKB, an item that Storms don't like that they have to get sometimes, but in games like this, you just desperately need it. But the Sickets are already ticking on down, and that means he's stepping away from being a bit more offensive, and if he continues to do a lot, and it ends up just backfiring with this AM. So every time you see that, oh, there's probably something that Boreal could kind of bring back into this game, it seems like the Navi US / WaytoStack group have an answer for him, waiting. And,
yeah. And I was just gonna say that if Anti-Mage had Basher there, he would have just destroyed everybody, and now he does. Yep. So this is such a big item for him. It was a long time coming anyway, but it's gonna tear through Boreal, honestly.
Oh, ridiculous! Ridiculous game 3 here is Way2 group now smoked up. Plant the high ground ward. Check the vision here, and Boreal don't know what's going to be coming their way. Oh, there it is. Jump in from Ritsu, pops his BKB. Requiem going to be flying out. Good damage on the Pizza Dad up on the northern side, though. They look to engage, and they take out Jubei. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Kikoni dancing a bit with Ritsu. Ritsu's going to have to step back. Trout gets the pop, tries to go for Kikoni, but it's not enough to finish him off. A huge epicenter. Flies in from Pizza Dad, but the Death Ward from Way2 is really all that needs to happen with the closing act. Trout catches up with Kiko Man, wipes the floor with him, ends up being a full 5-man takedown. Way2 and the group in a really commanding position now to eliminate this last outer tower and press into the base once more. That almost looked like Boreal just had a big team fight moment that they were just going to have their comeback, but
Radiant's
little
top
Way2
tower
had a
is
good
under
little
attack.
pocket where he just dropped down a serious
Radiant's top
death
tower
ward.
has fallen.
Oh yeah, those death wards have been doing work. It's a little funny that he
Radiant's
went for the
middle
mana
barracks
void
are
there. He
under
didn't even
attack.
check the Storm's mana. I think he was just like being very hopeful. Actually, ended up doing no damage.
Radiant's middle barracks.
It's like he had to
has
jump
fallen.
from far away, right? Yeah, sure.
Radiant's middle
Just hope that he
barracks are
got it,
under
but
attack.
it doesn't really matter in the
Radiant
end. Still
structures
ends up
are
getting the storm
fortified.
down. Now in mid lane, he clears out the ranged Rax, the melee, soon to follow here. PQ's, please don't do that. Please don't do that to my base. But, well, Trough will actually have to pull back, so. It's a little bit extra damage, but these
Radiant's
death
middle
timers,
barracks are under
not the
attack.
biggest yet on the side of Boreal. They're able to kind of get back into action pretty damn fast.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, it's kind of a sleeper game from the SF. I feel like he went for these big play items, but realistically, if he had like a butterfly and he just stood his ground, you know, he could. They probably would have taken the rack right now, and he probably wouldn't even be dying. But I mean, he wanted to have a little bit of fun.
Double damage.
And, well, it's been fun to watch so far, but I agree with you. If he was able just to kind of be the muscle for his team and right-click down this mess of a fight, things could have been a bit different. Maybe a potential win for him already, but now they're going to have to work a little bit harder because of the flashy play style. And as we see, more items coming together. That Basher quickly turns into an Abyssal, and he's engaging bottom lane. Pizza Dad barely alive, using the Ghost Scepter to waltz away. Trough is like, I'm going to go for KVH. Gets that first hit bash, convenient for him. Oh, BKB is going to stop the stun to follow from Snake King. Drops a call down. Not going to be connecting really onto anyone.
Radiant's courier.
Oh, they get the courier as well, but KVH, oh, they block out their own team with the fissure here. Jubei, what the hell?
He's
KVH
right
is like,
there.
thanks, dude. Oh, but Trough happily hurdles over the fissure. There's a barricade. Nice little stop. KVH not going to be so lucky this time from getting away from
Radiant's
Trough.
bottom tower
Gets
is
caught,
under
goes
attack.
down, and now they move into the high ground. Here comes an Epi. Boom, they move in, and what a mana burn. Means he doesn't have the Burrow Strike. So Pizza Dad jumps in with a Epi, but that's all he's got. Good catch right there from Snake King.
Radiant's middle barracks
And that's 3 down all day. Storm will be up next at 15 seconds, but it might be too late by that point. Tier 3's going down. Rax is in jeopardy. They could finish out this and the mid lane, and that could be game.
Radiant's bottom
We'll
barracks
see.
are under attack.
Chalf jumps in, goes for Jeppins. Jeppins going to be snowballing up. Top of the bash. Getting a bit of nuke damage coming out from the help of Snake King. Oh, what another bash coming out from Trough, and he's going to go ahead and get the kill. So they double back again. Let's finish out the game, fellas. We're going to be clearing out both the racks here on the bottom. Trough finishes out what's left in mid. 2 racks down all day. Looks like this Dota game could be over pretty damn soon. Kikoni, though, not going out without a bit of a bang here. Hops in onto the 3, looking to pull back on Way2. Gets a Glimmer Cape, he's just going to walk away. Ritsu for the flashy play, gets it done. And that's over. Kikoni after that says we have had enough, and it is going to be the WaytoStack, a.k.a. Team Tinker, a.k.a. Navi US, whatever the hell you want to call these kids. They managed to make it out of the opening round, and they will be meeting up with Summer's Rift in the next round, and, well, that will be the end of the road here for the Boreal squad. Fluff, impressions on our Game 3 and our series as a whole?
I think the biggest storyline is that WaytoStack pretty much figured out Boreal. Boreal played their game, but it wasn't enough because they were pretty much all-inning on the mid game many times, and not banning the anti-mage in this game was pretty much their downfall. MVP to Trough, even though he was kind of playing with his food a bit, he definitely he loves this hero. It's fitting that he wins the set with the anti-mage. He loves playing it in FPL and pubs, whatever. So I mean, grats to WaytoStack. They looked a little shaky in game 1, but over the course of the series, they kind of really developed into their own, and maybe it was just because Way2 needed to wake up.
How do you feel about their chances going against Summer's Rift, though? Do you think Summer's Rift might be coming in as pretty heavy favorites, or do you think that it just might have to come down to draft and execution, and either team could manage to walk away with the win?
I think Rift will probably be a bit more composed and disciplined, and they definitely won't. They'll have very good drafts as well. So, but I don't think I'm gonna rule out WaytoStack. I think it's slightly competitive. I mean, I would give it like a 60-40 advantage to Rift. Rift went through a roster swap as well, so you never really know with these things. But from watching their games previously, I think that they're gonna do well.
All right, so an excellent series. I had a jolly old time, but that's going to conclude our action for today. So congratulations once more in order for Way2 moving on forward, plus Summer's Rift that we saw earlier. So let's take a quick look at the graph, or the bracket rather, and we can see what's in store for us. It looks like tomorrow it will be a matchup of Team Unknown going against Rebelled. I think they're actually going to be known as Pain Gaming now. So a bit of a southern affair. That should be a jolly old time. I'm looking forward to it. That will be starting tomorrow at what looks like, I have my thing too small so I can't really see. It looks like the 8 p.m. slot for Eastern time. That means 5 p.m. Pacific. So with that said, we'll wrap things up. Fluff, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. You can show your love to Fluff for stepping into being a co-caster over on his Twitter, @FluffDota. Any last shout-outs or anything before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out for my girlfriend for being so patient with me. We need to go get dinner really soon, but it was a pleasure. Like, I like casting these games. It's really fun for me. You're a great caster, KotLGuy. It's an honor. I know that I talk a little bit too long and go on too many things, but I have so many thoughts racing through my mind. And I know my voice is a bit monotone, but bear with me, guys. If you're interested in my kind of commentary and want to learn support a bit, and you want to ask me, I'm really active with my chat. Please follow me on twitch.tv/FluffDota. I stream pretty much very regularly every day, and I'd appreciate the support, so thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm there often. It's one hell of a stream, and it's one hell of a stream to watch. And you can even put in your own music. It's awesome. So with that said, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks again, folks. We'll catch you tomorrow for more Summit America's action, which is powered by, of course, we got Squarespace, we got Face It Pro League, G2A, and, of course, Alpha Draft. We'll catch you next time. Take care.